Hi, guys. So the other day I was watching this video, Linux Horror Stories. It's from the Linux Cast, one of my favorite YouTube channels about Linux. And this guy in the upper left hand corner, Josh, I believe his name is, he was telling a story where it was a work day. He was trying to get stuff done. And his main distribution of Linux was giving him problems. And he's like, I just really need to get this work done. And so he installed OpenSUSE in an attempt to get on with his workday. And then the very first thing was he boots into OpenSUSE and he runs an update, and right away it crashes his system. The story is really it's a nightmare story because who would think that updating your Linux system in 2024 would completely brick it so that he then had to reinstall Linux. And honestly, the story sounded a little crazy. It sounded almost unbelievable. But then Matt, the host down here in the bottom left, he chimed in and said, yeah, there was a couple of days that OpenSUSE was having some problem with their update servers, with their package servers, and it was pushing out broken, corrupted packages. And then the system installs the updates, and then you're just in a really bad place. And so this guy here in the upper left, Josh, is just, at least a couple of hours of frustration with this guy, right? And all he's trying to do is get work done. And then today I watched this video from DistroTube, My Frustrations with Linux and Its Stability. And what he talks about is that Linux itself is stable, but that the applications that you use in Linux can be unstable. And in his specific case, he went into the office one day to get some work done, and he was shooting a video. It's actually the video you're looking at. He shoots a video, he throws it into the video rendering software. I think he said it's KDE Vine or something like that. I'm probably mispronouncing it. And then he clicks, publish or save or run or whatever. It takes 35 minutes, the normal amount of time. And then the end product is a video that looks like this. If you look at his face, it's all grainy. And he says that instead of rendering his video in high definition like it's supposed to, it put out this really low quality video, and he just couldn't understand why. All of his settings were okay. The long story short was his video program had done an update, and that update broke the program. And it turned 2 hours of work for him into like an 8 hour work day. It sounded like a total nightmare scenario. In fact, it was such a bad problem that he made a whole video about that problem. So this is kind of my thing with Linux. I almost never update my Linux. I run a full update maybe once every, 6 months, something like that. I just don't update Linux because I know that like things are working now and things are good now, right? And if I update them, maybe things won't be good. Maybe something's going to go wrong. And for a lot of us, like, we don't work at a bank. This isn't a server. This isn't a high security environment. And so unless there is a bug in the program I'm using, I'm not going to update it. Every now and then, like for my web browsers, right? Like web browsers are the big part of my job. So I'll update those, but maybe once every 2 weeks. It's just not a big priority for me. I think, I don't know. It's like there's a lot of people who they have this like addiction or they have this habit of I have to update my program. I have to get the latest program with the latest features, et cetera, et cetera. But for me, I'm way more of a kind of thinking that it's working now, so I'm not going to change it, and let's just leave it. And then like on a Saturday when I have nothing to do and I don't have any work to do, and I'm ready to potentially break my Linux, and I have hours and hours to devote to that, then I'll run an update. And the other thing is, if you update often, so let's say right now it's Tuesday and I update today, well, maybe the package I download is broken, right? But then by Friday, it'll be fixed. And so by doing a slower update cycle, there's a greater chance that the packages you're going to get are going to be stable. Whereas if you're always updating every single time there's a new update, there's a chance that you're going to get a bug in there. Now, nothing's ever perfect and you can always run into problems, but I feel like this way is a little more stable. So, like, the first thing I do is I clear everything. I don't want any of these boxes checked right. And then I'll start looking for packages I really care about. So, like, I do a lot of stuff with web browsers. It's a really important part of my job. So maybe I want to update Firefox. Or you know what? Maybe actually I don't want to update Firefox right now. Maybe I want to update Google Chrome beta because I use Google Chrome a lot for my job. But let me give you an idea of how slowly I update. So the current beta is 0.6312.46, right? I am on 6312.22. So they have released a whole handful of updates since the last time that I did any of this stuff. You're facing a risk for reward scenario, and the reward is fairly small unless the program you're using has a bug, has a glitch. I mean, my God, don't update everything. You don't need to update everything. Again, we're not working at banks. We don't work at a DNS server. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like pretty low security stuff. Um, it hurts me to see people having a bad time with Linux because they are in the habit of updating their packages often.